Oyster should be a first date food because they're so, like slurpy and weird that you have to like all of a sudden know that won't be.
Here's what my mouth does.
Yeah, exactly. Couldn't have put it better myself.
Sorry. Hi, my name is Grace Aki, and I'm meeting Alex Brightman here for a dozen oysters and a dozen questions here at the Mermaid Oyster Bar. This is the Shark Bite cocktail. And that is alcoholic. So here we are over oysters. 12 questions, 12 oysters. And specifically, we are at the Mermaid Inn, famously, which is the spot.
Yes!
Question. What kind of oysters do you like?
I specifically like East Coast oysters.
How do you prepare your oyster, if you want to start with the first one?
Sure. Yeah. I prepare my oysters thusly. Mm-hmm. I will kind of give it a kind of around the horn.
Wow.
And sometimes I'll do two, but I think we're good for this moment. That was a very juicy lemon. And then typically the mignonette, great, but if you have to be prepared to have terrible breath for the rest of the evening because it's like shallots and vinegar.
Yeah, no.
Which is also the name of my ska band in high school. But I usually just do. What is that?
That's what dancing is when you listen to ska music. It's called skanking.
It is?
Yes. Were you a skanker?
Yeah, definitely.
Great.
I never liked ska. No offense, but I appreciate all forms of. What am I trying to not offend anybody? I don't like ska. How about that? No. So I only pretty much use hot sauce and a little and cocktail sauce, but very not liberally. I like to let the oyster speak for itself.
Because you like the brine.
I love it. It's called oyster liquor. In fact,
oyster liquor.
The juice inside of an oyster is called oyster liquor.
Oh.
And I enjoy it. Firm, petite, juicy brine. Used to be my screen name. You want to smell your oysters because if you get a funk that doesn't feel right, and you'll know, you don't want to eat it.
Yeah, go for it.
Incredible. Cheers, everybody.
Famously, you're doing The Shark is Broken right now.
Yep.
Famously takes place on a boat.
Yep.
This is the first time I think people are seeing you in this like play context because everyone is seeing you sing a dance and work and run around as Bach and do all the things.
Yes.
But like
those people are in their 70s now, by the way, who saw me do Bach.
And now they're at The Shark is Broken.
That's right.
They're all there. So question, like, what made you go like, I want to play this real human person, but also like be your own human person in this role?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I wanted to do a play.
Yeah.
I think that's not abnormal for anyone that's done musicals. It's kind of an antidote to like what you've done for so long. But I love plays. I started with a play. My first equity professional gig was a play called The History Boys by Alan Bennett.
Yeah.
Shout out to Alan Bennett. The fact that it's a real person just made me want to do more accuracy work and like really get the mannerisms down, the voice, all that kind of stuff, which seems to be working.
It's working.
I get that compliment a lot. And to those of you who it's given to me, thanks. I've worked really hard on that. But yeah, it just really appealed to me. And also I saw a lot of myself in him. For better or worse.
I was gonna say, like, what does that mean? Like, I know that we've talked a little bit about like the ego and finding yourself as like an actor.
The ego? Go on. Spiritually, also, I think in a similar time, you know, because you have success under your belt.
Yeah.
And I'm very happy to have success and I feel it's earned, but also I feel very lucky. But like any actor, and this is what I empathize with him, is that you really don't know what tomorrow is going to be. Shows close, careers have dry spells, and you just really don't know. So it's kind of an insane career, which inherently makes you a bit crazy too, because no matter how much success you have behind you, this is a career, and Richard knows this more than anybody, this is a career where you could have 2 Tony nominations, you could have Academy Awards, but you still pretty much have to tell everyone or show everyone that you're still good today. You have to continue to audition and you're not resting on the things you've done. And I wish you could, but you don't. You have to come in prepared again, better than you were.
Yeah.
And so I find that to be exciting, but I think I understand Richard Dreyfuss's neuroses because of that.
I think people often just go like, you have 2 Tony noms. They just called you out.
Sure, no, they did not.
That's not what happened.
No, I in fact called up my agents and said, I saw this article and I think I would be, right for this. I don't know. Haven't seen the script. I read the script and I said, I'm definitely right for this.
Yeah.
But will they cast me? I don't know. So I worked my ass off and I auditioned and I chemistry read with Ian, and which was nerve-wracking because he wrote it too. And it just went well. And I got cast, but I worked my ass off, and I hope to continue to do that. So
you are doing that.
Well, thanks. I hope to continue doing it.
Enjoy an oyster.
This one is the Glidden Point. Salt
Point.
and scallopy sweetness. So I'm very
Oh,
excited
wow.
about this. Oh boy.
I
haven't had, I don't know if I've had like a lunch dinner meal before noon, but this is going to be super interesting.
with hot sauce.
With hot sauce.
I used to make hot sauce when I was a child.
You did?
And it was called Fire in the Hole. That's a real thing. Sorry.
That gets the Alex Brightman silent knock when he's not going to laugh out loud.
Well, it's also like the comedian's thing of going, that's funny.
That's funny.
And not laughing.
If somebody says something super funny
Yeah.
that I find to be so funny, that's exactly how I get mad a little bit
Yeah.
that I didn't come up with it, and I go, "That's very funny." Like I'm disappointed
There's a part of me that's like-
yeah. Damn it.
There's just like this random acapella moment.
I know, it's so weird. It feels like Anchorman, like the afternoon delight
Yeah.
moment.
It is that. Tell us about the Enharmonics.
Oh, I would love to tell you about the Enharmonics. I went to NYU for 2 years, and both years I was in an a cappella group called the Enharmonics, who I believe are still a thing.
Are they really?
I don't know, actually, but they had been a thing for a long time, and it was this sort of like very, like a big honor to be accepted because it was a really cool a cappella group.
It was
and I know
not
that
a normal
sounds
acapella group
well,
for cool kids.
right. Cool a cappella group sounds a little bit like a paradox.
We've
right?
all been in the arts.
Yeah. But most of the songs we did, orchestrated by the wonderful Shayna Taub, by the way.
Subtle plug.
Subtle plug, but not so subtle. Love Shayna Taub. And we did cool songs. Like we didn't do the sort of like white glove, like sha sha shoo sha sha, like that kind of stuff, which we didn't. We did like really cool rock arrangements of like Whipping Post and When Doves Cry, cool shit.
Yeah.
And I think it was, and we competed and kind of won a bunch of things.
Really?
Not any sort of like grand prize, but we always went to like different colleges to compete, and we all did really well. And even though we didn't win, we were always sort of like considered to be the cool, interesting one, because we were one of the only groups that didn't do choreography. We just sort of like vibed with the thing. And this is vibed in the real sense, by the way.
Have an oyster.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
This one goes out to the
So
Enharmonics,
cute.
by the way. This is a shout out to the Enharmonics, past and present.
Hope you're still
I
fine.
drink this in honor of you. Smell the oyster. Good. Oh, that was a good one.
I know this is so strange to bring a prop. Famously, you did Big Fish
Uh-huh.
on the Broadway.
Yeah. Oh, my
What is
goodness.
this?
Oh, my goodness. Witch Lover, which I still hear to this day at certain stage doors.
Okay.
In 2013, I did a show called Big Fish, where I played a character named Zachy Price. And I didn't have many lines, and I didn't have a ton to do in the show. And it was like a really fun ensemble experience for me. And had a ball in the show. We would bully him. We were the kind of the nuisances in the show. And because Edward Bloom got this premonition from this actual witch that he believed was a real witch, I would make fun of him by saying witch lover. Witch lover, that would be the thing, which really does these days sound a bit derogatory.
Yeah,
it really does.
Feels like a slur.
It does a little bit, right? That's weird. It didn't then.
We're not bringing it back.
But it does, no. But throughout the process of doing the rehearsal, I only said it once in the show, but I added it into a scene, so it became kind of more of a catchphrase than it meant to be. And then they made these.
Oh my
I don't
God.
know if they sold these, but I know for sure that we had a bunch of these made.
Yeah.
And people would ask for them specifically at the stage door because they knew it became like, it was its own viral thing.
Yeah.
And so, wow, I haven't seen one of these in a long time. And
It's on
this
my
is, it really?
Yeah.
That's so
It's
great.
next to my Spain adaptation of Vagina Monologues magnet, so it has a very
Well, I have
special-
one of those.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Everyone comes with the apartment.
Yeah, every apartment I require to have a bunch of those magnets.
Yeah.
This is such a cool memory lane thing. Thank you for
So
pulling this out of your butt.
You're welcome. Enjoy an oyster.
Witch lover. I want to become like a sommelier for oysters. I
connoisseur.
really would love, I am a connoisseur. I'd love to be a
An
sommelier.
oystier.
An oystier. This one has a deep cup.
As a writer, I feel like people...
You as a writer or me as a writer?
You as a writer, you as a playwright, you as a musical theater book writer, like when you started having all of your Broadway debuts and all the things and the regionals and all that stuff, what made you go like, oh, actually, I also have a voice that I want to like lend itself to the page? Like, when did you start doing that?
This goes along with Big Fish. I broke, I guess is the easiest way to say it, my ankle in the show and wasn't able to finish the run.
Oh.
So I had this like really weird winter where I was like, a lot of things kind of collapsed on each other, and I had like one of the darker times of my life. Like, and it was just like, it really was oddly tumultuous and a thing that I didn't realize I was ever going to experience. So I was at home. I was like, had my leg up and I was so bored. And I just was like, what if I just get a desk and a chair and try to be ambitious and try to be productive in some way? And I opened my computer and I remember this. I started on Microsoft Word. I wrote Daniel and Adam. And I just wrote, Daniel says, how are you? Enter, enter. Adam, not great. Enter, enter. Daniel, why not? And that literally began like, okay, why is he not good? And started my brain going and just started writing a short. It became the short that is awful, and I've read it since. But that moment was this catalyst of like just kind of darkness and being like, what do I want to write about? I wrote about a breakup. I wrote about life in New York City, the things I hate about New York City, the things I love about New York City, the things I love and hate about New York City on a daily basis. And then I started finishing things. And now, it led me to, I have a play that I'm developing. That's, not that it matters, but it's 120 pages. And I was like, I never ever thought I would write more than that. And now, I've had a lot of cool fortune doing that. And I think because of being on Broadway, people will turn your direction. Yeah. So for me, I'm a big momentum person. Yeah. So when they turned my direction, I was like, I have an opportunity here to go, do you want to read things I've written? And a lot of people said yes. And some of it went well, some of it didn't. But currently I feel really, really happy. And I don't know, like I feel really like validated that it went well. And it inspires me to keep going. I really love writing. Oyster.
Enjoy Oyster.
I will.
Is there like a guilty pleasure that you enjoy, whether that's TV or food, like with you and yours, that you're like, I need everyone to get on board with this?
There's two answers to this. One of them, ironically, and this is not a plug because we're here, one of our guiltiest pleasures is going to the Mermaid Inn. And our order is, we get a dozen oysters, we get shrimp cocktail, we get the tuna crudo, which I can't recommend highly enough, the yellowtail ceviche, and that's the raw bar portion. Now, you'd think we'd be done, and we're not. There's 2 more courses coming. We do 2 orders of what they're really famous for in my heart, which is the lobster knuckles, which is like chunks of lobster served with butter in an escargot kind of fashion.
And the bread. The bread that sops it up?
Yes, which Phil Rosenthal very affectionately calls zobbling, which is more of a Yiddishy kind of thing. But I've taught my wife and I've taught my family how to zobble, especially when you have like mussels or things you want to zobble. So we do that. And then we order 3 fish tacos, which are so good here. And I think that you'd kind of skip over them if you're at a seafood place. Why would I get fish tacos? Get the fish tacos here.
They're known.
Oh, they're so good. And then we get mac and cheese and we get the Old Bay fries.
Yes.
And then we pretty much demolish it. And sometimes I will get 6 more oysters.
Yeah, just at the end.
They just do everything right here. So that's number 1, guilty pleasure. And then number 2, with almost no explanation, is the show Outlander. And I will only say, don't give me that face. No, don't give me that face.
You're not the only person in my life that says this.
Here's why. It's such a good show. It's so well crafted, so well written, so up my alley, so well acted. And I've rewatched it. I think I'm on the 3rd rewatch. And it just gets better and better and better.
You do a lot of voiceover work. Because I think everyone's like, wow, your voice is weird. That's fun.
That is weird.
I feel like you are becoming the like Jim Cummings or the Mark Hamill like of musical theater. Like where you're like, I'm just going to do all these things.
Sure.
Like, why not?
Why not?
Is that a thing that you're aspiring to do? Do you want to do more voiceover stuff?
I love doing voiceover. Yeah. I never thought of it as a thing I wanted to do. I didn't think you could. I thought they had like a stable of 12 people that just did all the voiceovers, exactly. So it's a really hard business to break into, but Beetlejuice gave me a bit of an inroad because some people saw the show and said, can you do that voice or something adjacent to that on our cartoon for a moment?
Was it Teen Titans?
Teen Titans was one of them. And then this show on YouTube, which is super popular, called Hell of a Boss, which a lot of people love. And I really didn't understand how big that fan base would be. I've done that. I've done some audiobooks, which I don't know if I love because it's really lonely.
I was going to say, it's just you.
It is you in a really comfy chair, which I don't think many people know. A lot of it is like they put you in this like lazy boy thing because you feel very comfortable and in. And then it's just you reading this book.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's for me because it's hard to like act that if you're sitting. And a lot of my voiceover stuff, like with Dead End, Paranormal Park, Hell of a Boss, there's a couple things coming up. I just like to act and they give me space in the room to move around. And I think that was really fun, to be able to use my actual body to make the voice better.
That's fun.
It is fun. At the end of a session, 10 minutes of you going, ah! Whoa, whoa! yay! You know, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And you just have to be comfortable doing that. And you leave it in the studio. I don't do that in the street.
No, you should. Can I show you a photo? Can I show you a photo? This is
Sure.
a strange. I don't know if I've ever told you this. I loved School of Rock,
Thank you.
as a surprise to me.
Thank you.
I saw it the second week of previews or something, on a whim with a friend that was going to Lincoln Center at the time, whatever. And I was like, sure, I love the film. And then I just wasn't familiar with you.
Mm-hmm.
And I got so excited.
Wait.
Afterwards, I asked to take a photo with you at the stage door. LOL.
You did?
Yes. Because I posted, get ready.
Oh.
No, I look so questionable. First of all,
I can't imagine I look
this.
incredible. Oh, I do look incredible.
No, you look great. You were.
That is unbelievable.
Hey, Bright Monster is a new rock god. That is a real thing I put on the internet in 2015 or 16.
That is.
I was so moved because
I
I
love
loved
this.
your voice on 35 millimeter, but I was not familiar with you as a human. And then I was like, I don't know what I've got to do, but this guy's going places.
Wow.
That I was doing the work you had been
God.
doing for 10
You saw that. You saw that penny stock, and you really invested in it.
I said yes.
Oh my God, that's
Yeah.
unbelievable.
But
How long have you been sitting on this?
Years.
I love that so much.
Yeah.
That's not a question, but do I do it always to cheer?
Well, my question
Oh,
is,
okay, sorry.
you when you were doing School of Rock, that was the moment that I think that everyone finally was you're on our radar.
Yep.
How did that feel? Because you were still finding your way. It's such a moment for you.
I don't remember who officially said this, but it says it takes 15 years to become an overnight success, and that's what it felt like.
Yeah.
It was all the articles were new face, and it was my 5th Broadway show.
Yeah.
But it was so, and I in order, it was overwhelming first of all, and not in an amazing way, because it was
That's
a little
scary.
too much. But also, you zoom out and you go, there's a billion people on this world, and one person is now playing the star of Andrew Lloyd Webber's new musical on Broadway, and it's you. And when you have that feeling, it's very difficult to describe, but it's a little weakening. There's something about this happens to other people.
Right.
So what's happening?
Right.
Why is this happening to me? You have a lot of that. And then when that kind of fades away, it's just unbelievable.
Yeah.
And I was too kind of in the process to even understand how big it was until afterwards, when people were like, do more things.
Aww.
I was extremely I learned a ton. I was really humbled by it in the right way. I felt like I have a lot more work to do.
Oh.
Because I did. I was leading a Broadway show and having to learn that too. How to lead a company, not just lead the show.
Yeah. Well, you're also a teacher in a way for them, because it's a lot of young people looking up to you, and you're I'm also young.
Yeah, exactly. And
nuts.
it was the first time I understood, and it will be the last time, I think, that I understood how parents feel, because you're I'm overwhelmed here, and I don't know how to deal. I don't know how to teach these people because I'm still a child. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I think that it made me weirdly empathize and sympathize with my parents, that they're just kids too, trying their best. And so it was a nice moment, and it really led to it changed my life.
Yeah.
Unquestionably, it changed my life.
I love that. Have an oyster.
Thank you. They don't miss here. Get your asses down to the Mermaid Inn. They don't miss here.
It's very exciting to see you on this chapter of your life where you're yes, I've done these very iconic people and characters, and you are also still writing in this stage. What are you excited or scared of next? Of it's what's up next? But more so that what are you excited about for your writing and everything that you want to keep putting out into the world? What is this Shark is Broken and everything else brought you into?
I'll tell you what I don't want to do first. I have no interest in directing. I have no interest in producing.
Really?
Yeah. I don't
feel like you wanted to direct. No.
No, not really. I've done it once for a workshop, but it wasn't for me. I got a little nervous. I don't know if I'd be the best director, and I think the actor would take over too many times. Here's how I would do it. No, I don't want that. And I've met so many great directors that I'm why would I add my name? Yeah. What I'm nervous for is my writing getting out there, because people will weigh in, and I just have to be cool with that. So I am nervous about that. I'm doing workshops, and at some point you just have to put it out in the world.
Yeah.
And I put some things out there, but the big things that I care about, when they go out there, I will be very nervous.
Yeah.
But proud. But I think that's the future for me. And the way I see it is that I want to put everything that I'm writing out there in some great way, and just let people enjoy it, hopefully. And if you don't, that's fine too. But I enjoyed writing it. So yes, I want to act. Yes, I want to do that stuff. But I'm really, really digging the writing.
Good.
Yeah.
I love that. Enjoy an oyster.
Should I double fist one?
Yeah, you gotta.
Let's do it.
Double 'em.
I'll do 2 at a time.
Oh, that's nice.
I'll go. Well, oh boy.
Oh.
Oyster liquor down.
Oyster liquor.
Okay, let's do this. I'll do 1. Okay, hang on.
So double.
This is gonna be. Yeah, this is gonna be nice actually. Because what is this one?
This is the Chunu.
All right, here we go. I don't think I've ever done this before, but I will.
This is fun.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
Double cheers, everybody.
Worth it.
Yeah,
Sick.
so worth it. Gluttonous. It's not noon even yet.
Happy oyster morning.
Hell yeah.
Thank you so much for coming.
My pleasure.
Ahead of your Shark is Broken matinee, you can currently see Alex Brightman in The Shark is Broken on Broadway as Richard Dreyfuss and many personalities. And then after that, you can also see him in Spam-A-Lot because he never stops.
Can't stop, won't stop until I stop. And then I will stop and then hopefully go again. That's how it works.
That's perfect.
Can I have one more oyster?
Eat it. Go in.